Welcome, everybody. How are we this evening? Cold, snowy, icy, rainy. Well, it is here in Tennessee. I hope everyone has had a blessed day. Um, so Trump's Toro got certified today. It did not look like Kamala was very happy about that. Let's kind of go over that a little bit.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Here we go.
Thank you. Thank you for your work. And thank you. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, sure. Okay.
That makes a little bit. There you go. Thank you so much.
He didn't even want to shake her hand or nothing. He's like very adamant about it. She's like, I'm like, Kamala, what do you think? What do you think? But here, it gets better. Let's listen to how
For
she
President of
reads.
the United States are as follows. Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 312 votes. Kamala D. Harris
Yeah,
Kamala D. Harris of the state of California has received 226 votes.
you know, that would be awful difficult to have to stand up there and read your own loss. You know, that's what I call truly eating crow. Truly eating freaking crow. And that lady deserves to eat that damn crow. But it was magical to see. I have to find the video, but it was magical to see Mike Johnson's face when he made his when she was reading. I loved it. I loved it. It was priceless. I'll find it and I'll show you the video. Um, but here she is afterwards giving after I really don't know what she's talking about, truthfully. It doesn't make any sense, but you can tell she's defeated. She is defeated. She is so defeated, and you can tell the woman has so much hate.
Well, today was obviously a very important day, and it was about what should be the norm and what the American people should be able to take for granted, which is that one of the most important pillars of our democracy is that there will be a peaceful transfer of power. And today I did what I have done my entire career, which is take seriously the oath that I have taken many times to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, which included today performing my constitutional duties to ensure that the people of America, the voters of America, will have their votes counted, that those votes matter, and that they will determine then the outcome of an election. I do believe very strongly that America's democracy is only as strong as our willingness to fight for it. Every single person, their willingness to fight for and respect the importance of our democracy. Otherwise, it is very fragile, and it will not be able to withstand moments of crisis. And today, America's democracy stood.
Madam Vice President, what's next for you? What do you want for governor?
America's democracy's dead. Okay, first off, Kamala, you got the Democrats didn't have an opportunity to even have any democracy. They threw you in there. They took Biden out and they just threw your ass up in there, served you cold, and said, "Here, you got to vote for her." That's how that played out. It's that simple. Um, Boy, I think she seemed to be like a sore loser, like really, really bad sore loser. But at least we got this far. But I don't trust the Democrats. I just have this feeling there's something going on, and I can't put my finger on it. and we gotta pay attention to what is going on around us. Um, but they're making their little show, out in the hallways. You had Adam Schiff, you've had all of them coming out, "Well, we're respecting democracy." They're trying to show front, well, January 6th. You guys created January 6th. You guys done all this shit. You come out with all the information about the bomber. Let's take a look at one of the videos of the pipe bomber that they're now releasing today. Well, yesterday and today they've released video footage. On this particular video, if you watch the bomber at one point, there is a police officer passing by and he gives a hand up. I don't know what kind of hand gesture he shows them, but he waves at them, and he's carrying the pipe bomb in his bag, and he's the only one around. But that's not suspicious. That's not suspicious, and he's fully covered with a hoodie, and he's got his face covered up, glasses and all. Let's take a watch. Now watch here. You'll see him. The cop comes by and, hey, there we go. Hey. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And then in further investigation, there's Mike Mintz. He had actually done some research, hours of research on this pipe bomber. And the photos that he had found and the videos, it's like it was purposely blotted out biometrically with the eyes in the face to where it would not come through. So we'll never know. We'll never, ever know. Sorry, my cat's jumping everywhere. We're just never going to know about that. But with this pipe bomber, it's this is what's just happened today. Um, the Biden DOJ today revealed that it is likely going to charge 200 more Trump supporters related to the January 6, 2021 Capitol protest. More than 1,500 January 6ers and many nonviolent first-time offenders have been charged by Merrick Garland's DOJ in the last 4 years. Now, Biden's DOJ hunted down MAGA grandmothers and other nonviolent offenders and threw them in D.C. Gulick. Merrick Garland's prosecutors may unseal indictments at the last minute to derail Trump's plans to pardon January 6 defendants. Now, this is what is being said on the Hill. Recently floated a scenario in which the Biden unseals an indictment, on January 6 pipe bomber shortly before Trump's inauguration to throw a wrench in Trump's possible blanket pardon for January 6ers. The FBI last Thursday evening released new footage on January 6 pipe bombers after Representative Loudermilk released a report revealing the Bureau engaged in a massive cover-up operation. Why did the FBI revive its search for the pipe bomber? Is the DOJ gearing up to unseal an indictment with charges against the January 6 bomber? And who would it be? Seriously, who would it be? So now this is what they're doing at the last minute. And Trump I guess he's going to have a rally on the 19th. I believe that's right. I believe I read that right. And a lot of the Democrats are running around and they're saying, well, I truly believe that, they truly believe that the Democrats are going to stop Trump from becoming president inauguration, and they believe that Trump is having to bring people in on the 19th to do his rally in order to prevent that. No, you dumbasses. No, straight up, you dumbasses. I swear, they got a lick of freaking sense half the time. Oh, I found the video. Well, here's the video. Sorry, I'm in it. That's the only one I could find. When I was recording it. Mike Johnson's face when she's reading everything, you kind of got to go back and look at things a little bit better. This is priceless. This is one heck of a video. Watch his face. I don't think I'll ever forget it.
Breathe with me.
That's priceless. You know, it's like those credit card commercials that go down the list of saying things, and at the very end it says priceless. That was seemingly priceless. I love it. I will never forget that. Never forget that. Well, here's what Adam Schiff had to say about certification.
So the president's pardon of Scooter Libby, Congressman, has inspired you to propose new legislation. What exactly would it do?
What it would do is say that in the event the president pardons anyone in an investigation in which the president is a witness, a subject, or the target, those investigative files will all be turned over to the Congress. The Congress ought to know whether the president is using the pardon power to obstruct justice. The American people have a right to know. I think it is clearly constitutional. It doesn't prohibit him from granting a pardon, even a pardon he shouldn't grant. But it does say that we will be able to at least find out whether the president is using this power to shield himself from liability.
It offers transparency at the very least.
Well, I did believe Biden already did all of that with Pardon Hunter and protecting himself. And he went all the way back. It's one thing to, do it like in the last year or so, but he went all the way back to 2014. And the reason he did that is because he knows there is some bullshit there, illegal stuff that had taken place over the years, all the way to Burisma, all the way to China, completely, all the way to all of that crap. And he wanted to do a blanket pardon on it. So now they bring up the bomber, and now they're going and looking at the videotapes again and going to start arresting people that were at January 6th again. This is their narrative. This is their bullshit push, and that's all they've got. Clock is ticking. So that's what they do. But also today, Trump had requested that Judge Michon rescheduled and January 10th, just 10 days before Trump, is it to be in the White House. In the ruling, Judge Michon wrote that this court has considered defendants' arguments in support of his motion, finds that they are, for the most part, a repetition of the arguments he has raised numerous times in the past, including in his criminal procedure law motion to vacate his conviction and dismiss the indictment, and his Clayton modem to dismiss in the interest of justice, both of which this court denied by decision in order dated December 16th, 2024 and January 3rd of 2025, respectively. Further, this court finds that the authorities relied upon the instant motion by the defendant are, for the most part, factually distinguishable from the actual record or legal sorry, I got choked. Inapplicable, and ruling continued. Trump can now attempt to have an appeals court overrule Judge Merchan's decision because he decided no, he wasn't going to allow it to be stopped. So I could foresee that we're going to see a lot more. But right after the certification took place, this happened. I don't know a lot about what this is. I've got to do some research because I just found this right before I went live. But let's take a listen to the video.
At the direction of the House Republican Conference, I send to the desk a privileged resolution and ask for its immediate consideration.
The clerk will report the resolution.
House Republican privileged resolution.
Resolved that the following
Interrupts, doesn't want it read.
Consent to dispense with the reading.
Doesn't want it
Objection,
read.
the resolution is agreed to and the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
And then,
What purpose does the gentleman from California seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, by direction of the Democratic Caucus, I offer
A
a
Democrat?
privileged resolution and ask for its immediate consideration.
another one of those.
The clerk will report the resolution.
House Resolution 14, resolved that the
Mr.
following
Speaker, I ask
members
unanimous
be-
consent that the resolution
Doesn't
be
want it
considered
read.
as read.
Without objection, the resolution is agreed to and the motion to reconsider is laid on the table. For what purpose does the gentlewoman from Michigan seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent that when the House adjourns today, it stands adjourned until 11 a.m. tomorrow, January 7th.
Without a
What? What's happening at
For
11
what
tomorrow?
purpose does the gentlelady
Well,
permission
10
and
o'clock
seek
here.
recognition?
So what is going on? I don't know what a privilege resolution is. I did look up a few things to try to understand what a privilege resolution was. Specialist of Congress. It relates to the order or priority of business before the House and is defined in House rules and precedents as business that has precedence over the regular order. So, what would regularly be heard in the House, whatever is in this bill, is being superseded over anything. As a consequence, it may supersede or interrupt other matters that might be called up on or pending before the House. Members have a right to call up privileged business for consideration on the floor when the House is not engaged in considering some other matter. Privileged business consists of various kinds of bills, resolutions, and other matters. Clause 1 of the House rule defines that the daily order of business on the House floor, however, other House rules and procedures allow certain kinds of matters to interrupt the daily order or business. A matter that can interrupt the daily order of business is said to be privileged. In practice, the House never follows the daily order of business that Rule 17 defines. Instead, virtually all the legislative business that the House transacts on the floor each day after the opening prayer, the approval of the journal, and the Pledge of Allegiance is conducted either by unanimous consent or as privileged interruption of the daily order or business. Various rules of the House give privilege to specific kinds of measures and matters. Like, most important is the clause 5A of Rule 13, which grants certain committees the leave to report at any time on certain kinds of bills and resolution. Those bills and resolutions are privileged. Under the rule, privileged business includes general appropriation bills reported by the Committee on Appropriations and continuing resolution reported by the same committee after September 15th. Budget resolutions, reconciliation bills reported by the Committee on the Budget. Amendments to the House's rules and resolutions affecting the order of business. Special rules reported by the Committee on the Rules. Resolutions concerning the official conduct of members and staff reported by the Committee of Ethics. Other kinds of legislative business derived from privileged from the House. Hang on a minute. Established procedures such as these following: resolutions making committee assignments, questions of personal privilege or the privilege of the House, and resolution of inquiry, seeking documents or facts from the executive branch. Sounds to me, guys, I don't know, and this is coming from the Democrats. Privilege measures are made through discussions involving the majority party leadership and the committee chairman, usually in consultation with the committee's ranking minority members. In addition, some laws grant privilege to be particularly kinds of measures, typically in the form of a joint resolution that Congress can pass, usually by using expedited procedures within a limited time period, and usually for the purpose of disapproving some action. So this is to disapprove some action that the president or an executive branch official plans to take or has taken. This kind of measure may be privileged even if the committee to which it was referred has not reported it. No other bills are privileged. Therefore, the chairman of a committee cannot simply rise on the floor and call up the consideration to some other kind of bill that his or her committee has reported, because House rules do not empower the chairman or any other member to interrupt the daily order of business for that purpose. So it seems to me that not quite sure what this is, guys. But the Democrats have brought it up. Now here yesterday, when Mike Johnson was appointed, let's take a listen to what he had to say.
And the descendants of patriots who defied tyranny. In the coming months, we are going to pass legislation to roll back the totalitarian fourth branch of government known as the administrative state. We're going to drastically cut back the size and scope of government. We're going to return the power back to the people. And in coordination with President Trump and his administration, we are going to create a leaner, faster, and more efficient federal workforce. We need to do that. Our people do not deserve to be ruled by millions of bureaucrats they've never voted for, never met, and can never hold accountable. They deserve a government that is led by those they've elected to lead. That is how Article 1 is supposed to work. That was the idea of the Congress, and we will return to that principle. The American people have called on us to reject business as usual and throw out the status quo. We must and we will heed their call.
So, guys, there's something brewing. I have a privileged bill. So here we have Mike Johnson talking about giving the power back to the people. Now, listen to this.
Bureaucrats don't create laws. Congress does. This rule functions like a law that Congress never passed. ATF, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. We don't trust the ATF because of their overreaching actions, exactly like we're seeing with this rule. Instead of providing regulations that keep our communities safe, this agency has made our communities more dangerous by laundering weapons to the cartels. Operation Fast and Furious exposed the recklessness of the ATF, how little regard they have for the rule of law, and Americans have had a hard time viewing these agencies and its rules as legitimate. Gun-free zones are the most dangerous places in our country. The Second Amendment is absolute, and it's here to stay.
Okay, so now she comes up and she's talking about abolishing the ATF. And then today, Quantico is shut down. And it is the first time and the only other second time in years that this has ever happened. And so they shut it down. They say it was because of the weather. And now the Democrats are bringing up a privileged, what was it called again? Privileged business on the House floor. So they won't read what it is, but they're approving it to be spoken about, but they won't read it aloud. Democrats actually put a stop to it. Let's watch this video one more time because we've got some new people that's come in. This happened right after the electoral votes were certified.
By direction of the House Republican Conference, I send to the desk a privileged resolution and ask for its immediate consideration.
The clerk will report the resolution.
House Republican,
House Resolution
privileged
13,
resolution.
Resolved that the following
Interrupts, doesn't want it read.
Consent to dispense with the reading.
Doesn't want it read.
The resolution is agreed to, and the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
And then,
What purpose does the gentleman from California seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, by direction of the Democratic Caucus, I offer
A
a
Democrat?
privileged resolution and ask for its immediate consideration.
another one of those.
The clerk will report the resolution.
House Resolution 14, resolved that the
Mr.
following
Speaker, I ask
members
unanimous
be-
consent that the resolution
Doesn't
be
want it
considered
read.
as read.
Without objection, the resolution is agreed to, and the motion to reconsider is laid on the table. For what purpose does the gentlewoman from Michigan seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent that when the House adjourns today, it stands adjourned until 11 a.m. tomorrow, January 7th.
Without a
What? What's happening at 11 tomorrow? Well, 10 o'clock here.
So what's happening? What is this resolution? What is in it? And do they not want it read? And they adjourn specifically till 11 a.m. tomorrow. So what does this mean? What is it? We'll have to deep dive, guys. I just got all this information like right when I started the show. So I really hadn't had a chance to deep dive in it. But I do know that the Democrats are the ones who have brought this forward, not the Republicans. 3 to be exact. So whatever it is, it's very interesting. And Trump had requested for the charges and everything to be dropped again. And Michonne has said, no go, leaving it as it stands. Something's brewing. Yeah. Something's brewing. I don't care what anybody says. Something is brewing for sure. Not sure what it is, but that's quite interesting. I'm gonna have to do some more research. If you guys find out anything, send it, put it in the Telegram Country Crazy News on Telegram channel. And we'll deep dive. You will get more information from this. I'll be pulling some up tonight and doing some research on it. We know that TikTok is in danger of being taken off. I could give 2 shits if TikTok is gone because I'm almost on my 95th account and I'm so sick of being suppressed. But there may be a silver lining.
And we want to. And then on midday, 12:05, Trump will be who we have to work with to close the deal in the months ahead. So I wanted to let him know, as well as others in his cabinet, that we're doing this and we're going to need their help.
Well, that's going to be a very interesting story to watch. You know, I want to go back to that, but I want to.
So now O'Leary is saying he wants to jump in, which he's been talking about it, buying TikTok, and that Trump helped. They're giving themselves immunity from the crimes. You think that's what it is? I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. This is interesting. Very interesting. We're going to find out what's going on because that's big. That's big news. It's they waited right then. Right then. Because I was reading up on it in the last paragraph of what I had read earlier. Instead of non-privileged bills are brought to the floor in one of 3 ways. That's a non-unanimous consent. But a privileged bill, no other bill can be brought, but they don't want anything said about it. They want 0 silence on it. And when the Democrats, they've always got a play. They've always, because they're treasonous, liars. It's that simple. And Kamala, did you really think they're just going to walk away? Here's what Biden had to say about Trump.
Do you still believe he's a threat to democracy?
I think what he did was a genuine threat to democracy. My being the oldest president, I know more world leaders than any one of you ever met in your whole goddamn life.
So, Bill, just to reiterate there, President Biden calling former President Trump, President-elect Donald Trump, a genuine threat to democracy. And the question that was asked...
They're not going to step away, guys. There's something brewing. That's all I got to say about it. I'm gonna have to, it's piqued my interest. I'm really seriously concerned about it. It is, isn't it, Miss Janine? Yeah, get it out and read it. It will blow your mind how corrupt they are. Yeah, after watching Sean Ryan's podcast and seeing what they've let in our country and what is sitting in our country, and they have no idea, which I believe some of them know where everything's at. And then with the Cybertruck that blew up, here is just a brief video. You've probably seen it of where they're trying to say he was still alive inside the
Footage
vehicle.
later shows the moment explosives were detonated, causing the truck to explode outside the Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas.
Truthfully, I don't think it's a person. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a robot they didn't put in there. And Matthew is still alive. Truthfully, y'all think I'm crazy, but I do believe. Yeah, they're working on something, Miss Janine. They're working on something, working overtime. There's a lot of stuff. You got to keep your head on a swivel. There's so much stuff going on. And what kills me is they can bring whatever it is to the floor this quick, like this. But we have people in Eastern Tennessee and Western North Carolina right now in tents, elderly, freezing to death. 3 people have already passed away yesterday. I don't know what the total is since then, but let's hear a few stories.
So they're having to come down here and wash their clothes and take showers. People work their whole lives, and in one instant, it's all gone, and it's in our creeks.
Everywhere you look, there's earth destroyed by Helene. No new beginnings here with the turn of the January 1st, 2025 calendar page.
What are we going to do?
This is what's left of B-Log's General Store.
Come down here and look where we're at. Come help us. We need help with funding. We need help. Our elders, like I said, are in cars, tents, campers. So this is our small community called Egypt Ramsey Town.
Makisha emailed News 13 and we came out advocating her community be seen.
And every time, of course, it starts raining, the rains start coming, all of it gets washed straight back into the river.
Local contractors, many volunteering time, are helping rebuild roads, but she begs state leaders to do more. But Makisha has another heartache from Helene. Floodwaters in Yancey County swept away her sister, Michelle Quintero.
She lived to help people, and she did. She was kind. They got a rope to her. They'd almost got her untangled. He said, she looked at him and she said, "It's okay."
All units stand by to copy final call for Major Michelle Quintero. It is with great sadness that we mourn the loss of Major Michelle Quintero, a true dedicated and compassionate public servant.
Her sister vowing to carry on her sister's spirit and get Ramseytown the attention she feels it deserves.
A lot of people.
That was Yancey County, North Carolina. That was Makisha Phillips. She lost her sister in that. But there's a lot of stories. They want to try to make you think there's only 30 or 60 or 90 people who have died from this. There are people that are boots on the ground there that I firsthand have spoken with. That thousands and thousands of body bags have went out. There was 147,000 homes in this one area, and they're trying to say only 90 people died when it's been completely decimated. Don't believe it for a second. And we're going to let them know.
She was the only person left alive. All her neighbors died. They found her neighbors who left when she was looking out the door at us. She said they found the wife in Greenville, Tennessee. The husband was like 3 towns away. They found his body, and then their 2 kids were like 5 and 7. They found their bodies washed up on like a island kind of bank.
Oh my gosh, that's
So she was like too terrified to even come out of the house, and that was 4 weeks after the storm. She just had the door cracked talking to us. It was like just terrified. There's definitely a lot more deaths than what they're saying.
I don't know why they're not updating the death toll.
They don't. They'd get even more crap. Look how much crap they're getting for not helping. Then if people found out this was actually the deadliest natural disaster in the history of the U.S., they just pile on exponentially that they didn't help, and they were too worried about an election instead of the actual people. So it was like on the way to Green Mountain, between Bakersville and Green Mountain, Relief, North Carolina. and it's the other most devastated spot.
Here it's freezing. And whatever these Democrats, yeah, that's got me puzzled, man. That's got me puzzled. It should you too. What the hell are they planning? What is it? What is this that they don't want read aloud? It must be pretty big if they're going to shut it down till tomorrow at 11 and they don't want it read aloud. You really think it's they want their crimes immunity? Space Ranger? You really think that's what's going on with it? I don't know. I just caught that. So it's like, I'm glad to find out what the hell is it? What is in that privileged bill that they are, even the even the, I don't know what you call him, not the Speaker of the House, but the one who talks, the foreman, um, he was shocked. They were wanting to adjourn until 11 o'clock tomorrow and didn't want to read it. And the one lady was trying to read it. The demons are always good. You know, you might be right, Space Ranger. You absolutely might be onto something. Um, truthfully. Let's see. I was trying to find something. Another thing that is despicable. My God, I cannot believe. Well, I guess I can't believe he's doing this, but Joe Biden is releasing a dangerous Islamic terrorist from Guantanamo Bay just days before Trump takes over. Today, the Biden regime has decided to release 11 dangerous Islamic Yemen terrorists from Guantanamo Bay to Oman, from them to supposedly start new lives. Oman has supposedly ensured they will monitor the newly released prisoners. As NPR notes, all of these savages were captured following the 9/11 terror attacks. Some had been cleared for transfer previously under the Barack Obama regime, but remained at Gitmo for political and diplomatic factors. In recent weeks, the U.S. has also released 4 other Guantanamo inmates, a Kenyan and a Tuscans and a Malaysians. This cuts the total number of prisoners at Gitmo precisely in half, from 30 to 15. So now he is releasing terrorists. Just releasing the terrorist. They gave themselves immunity from prosecution. How can that be legal? How can that be legal? They are trying to start a civil war. They're letting the worst of the worst out. And, after watching, the Sean Ryan podcast and Sarah Adams, what she had to say makes a lot of sense. And I do agree with, I believe they're going to do a bunch of sporadic things all over the place to keep everything discorded. I mean, neighborhoods, people's tires are getting slashed. Women are being followed at stores. Your little towns, they'll hit your little towns, they'll hit the cities. When you start seeing them hitting the little towns, to me, there's some big shit fixing to go down, I think. 9/11 was done by the CIA and Israel Mossad. I agree with you, Space Ranger. Totally agree with you. I cannot believe that he is doing that. My goodness. That is so crazy. Donald Trump come out with a post saying that I'm hearing that the people of Greenland are MAGA. Now, Don Jr. is actually over there right now, not on business or nothing, but just by going and visiting. His son Don Jr. and various representatives will be traveling there to visit some of the most magnificent areas and sites. Greenland is an incredible place, and the people will benefit tremendously if and when it becomes part of the nation. We will protect it and cherish it from a very vicious outside world. Make Greenland great again. Well, we actually have a video of a citizen from Greenland who is actually talking, and this is what he has to say to Donald Trump.
Buy Greenland?
Buy Greenland.
Why do you want Trump to buy Greenland?
Because we don't want to be colonized by Danish government anymore. We get ripped every year about our minerals from Greenland. We are the richest nation in the world, and we don't get to use it. Denmark's using us too much.
Do you like America?
I love America, but people are too fat over there.
So then that's when Trump came out saying, I hear there's MAGA over in Greenland. So he seemed pretty happy about that. And he liked the ad he had on. Here's a video that had gotten like maybe 2.1 million views over a course of time. And it was actually one eye opener if you really pay attention to it. We need term limits. Truthfully, I believe there should be, if you're over a certain age, you can't get in Congress. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're tired of the assisted living people. I'm tired of looking and seeing assisted living. Nothing wrong with elderly, but there comes a point in time when you got to say, okay, you got to step away. I mean, we got Pelosi on her walker coming in, and I don't wish no ill will on anyone. But there comes a point in time when the American people are fed the hell up. It's time for us to flourish. It's time for the generations to come to get what they deserve. The American people have worked. My ancestors, your ancestors, we've all put the time in and energy and the blood, sweat, and tears. It's time for leadership. It's time for true leadership in the House and the Senate. It is so much time for that. And take a look at this video. This is what has been running our country for 30, 40, 50 years.
The people that actually decide basically everything on behalf of the entire country, where our money gets spent, how much we pay in taxes, whether or not TikTok gets banned, what's considered freedom, what's not. These people probably don't even know how to attach a PDF file to an email. These people probably don't even know how to connect their phone to the Wi-Fi. These people haven't worked a real fucking job in probably 30 years. And also keep in mind that once you get a daily reminder that these are the people that actually decide basically everything on behalf of the entire country, where our money gets spent, how much we pay in taxes, whether or not TikTok gets banned, what's considered freedom, what's not. These people probably don't even know how to attach a PDF file to an email. These people probably...
I think it's time they just get out. Get out. The American people want leadership, and we have an opportunity to do so much because the fire is in the people who are trying to do this. I was questionable about Mike Johnson, but we're not going to have everything our way. Not everything is going to go the way that we want it to go. But if it does more so than not, as it's been going not for the past 4 years or longer, it's time. It's time for the American people. We're fed up. Exactly, Janine. We are fed up. Janeway Twith can't get here soon enough. Soon enough. I mean, here we go. We got drones in the sky, but they won't tell you where they're from. First, it was because of this radioactive material. Some people are saying it's because they're trying to track the missing 500,000 children. Sales, I don't know, but I know, when have you known in the history of America that anything could get in our airspace? The FAA, they have to approve that shit. And if anything come in our airspace, you blow that shit up out of the air. You just get rid of it. It doesn't come in our airspace. We do need to restore the republic and take back our freedom. Hopefully that is the plan. Hopefully that is where we're headed because, I'm not saying Trump is going to be able to do everything, but with the good cabinet, the people that he's appointed, um, and he got on it, man. He got on it and started pushing things quick, very quick. So hopefully this will just ready for change, y'all. I'm sick of the bullshit. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm sick and tired of killing myself with job after, job and taking time away from life in general and working for pennies on the dollar and not having nothing to show for it. And you put all of that effort and time in. I mean, and then you see all these people in Congress and the Senate walking around, getting valet parking, getting picked up limos, going to these big parties, eating, I don't know, filet mignon and steaks and stuff all the time. I can't remember the last time I actually had a good steak. I mean, and I'm not the only American that's fed up with it. Not the only person. It's time for the American people. It's our time. And it's up to us to continue this journey in the direction it should go. And then you had these medals of freedom, honor, whatever given out recently. And that was such a joke, man. I was hoping it would get a little tight. Then I was hoping she'd fall forward, but it didn't happen. But please, somebody tell me, what the hell did this man ever do to receive it? What did he ever do? What did he do to receive that? The other medals only cost the equivalent to $12.18. You can look it up. Not sure how much these damn things costed. But what the hell what did Max Johnson ever do? Exactly, Janine. Nothing. He has not done a damn thing. And they should just take that whole situation out. I think it's all for show, for looks. I mean, get over it. But they're talking that there is UFOs. Do you guys believe there's UFOs? Do you believe in UFOs? Propaganda puppets? You're right, Space Ranger. Do y'all believe in UFOs? Well, Mark Rubio.
You're in on the foreign. You're in on the Foreign Affairs Committee, and you're really involved in foreign affairs. There've been a lot of articles lately about UFOs. I know this question is a little out there. Is there any truth to any of this?
Well, we don't know. All I've said is we have people that have very high clearances, both today and in the past, who did really important work for our government or continue to do important work for the government, who have come forward with some claims about the U.S. having in the past recovered exotic materials and then reverse engineered those materials to make advances in our own defenses and technologies. That's the claim they make. Now, I don't know if those claims are true or not. What I do know is that one of two things is happening here. Either they're telling the truth, and that is something that obviously would be the biggest story in human history, or we have people in really important positions of government who are crazy and who are out there making up stories and who are still in positions of importance. Either one is a big problem. So we've got to figure out which one of these two it is, because the second one in particular would be very troubling. But we don't. All we know is claims that people have made. These are credible people that have done and continue to do important work for the country. And by law, we're required when they come forward as whistleblowers to take their claims seriously and to investigate them. But we just don't know. That's the answer.
You've been in a couple of different UFOs, Space. Well, this is breaking news. This has just happened. Let me get it playing. Okay, that is an Air Canada plane wing. turned into a fireball during a terrifying landing. And China just had a 6.9 magnitude earthquake. So China's been having a lot of earthquakes like recently. You know, Dana White, we always thought he would be a big part of Trump's cabinet. Well, he has now joined the UFC president, okay? He's close allies with Donald Trump, but he has now joined the board of directors at Mark Zuckerberg's Meta platform. He is talking about pushing AI. I think AI is very dangerous. I think it's a very dangerous if unsupervised and regulated. It started when you were 4. It started when you were 4, you were first taken by people in a UFO. Oh, you've been taken by UFO, Space Ranger? Our time is running out. It is. But I got to do some research. I got to find out what is this privilege bill that is going on, and I will be putting the info out there. Well, guys, I want to thank you for joining me this evening. I've had a great evening with you guys. I really appreciate you. Just needed to get a bit of news out there that was hitting and everything. Tomorrow, Tuesday, I get to work from home because we're iced in and snowed in, so that's pretty cool. I don't get to do that often, so I love you too, Miss Janine. Good to see you on. I don't get to do that too often, so I enjoy it and I appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll be back on tomorrow night. We're gonna get the podcast up and rolling again. I took a little break, a little breather. I had to, sometimes you gotta step away. You just gotta step away and you gotta see and let things start going the way it is. But I had to do my due diligence today since the Electoral College votes were certified with Trump. But now the Democrats are planning something and we don't know what. We just don't know what. And we're going to find out. We're definitely going to find out. And with that, guys, stay safe, stay warm, pray for our country, pray for our president, and keep your head on a swivel. And always, country crazy out.